Just when you think that we have got to have bottomed out and we must be on our way back to something normal, nope. Here comes Joe Biden to continue ruining everyone's day, week, month, and yes, year. Let me explain. We are in the throes of winter in a normal year, but we haven't been normal in a few years. And more than the weather, it's become a long, dark, cold, and every adjective winter for the Biden administration, which is exactly what Biden said before he was ever elected. He just didn't know he was speaking about himself.
We're about to go into a dark winter, and he has no clear plan. We're still facing a very dark winter. Truthfully, we remain in a very dark winter. For unvaccinated, we are looking at a winter of severe illness and death for unvaccinated.
All right then. Promises, promises. We know that winter is here for the Biden administration, and Joe Biden is doing what he does best, being confused. He's just not sure.
First of all, we all ask questions about complicated subjects like, can you get this done? I hope we can get this done. The honest to God answer is, I don't know whether we can get this done. Is this mic on? I guess, anyway. And I'm not sure either. But anyway, I hope we can get this done. But I'm not sure.
He's so unsure that he had to say it twice. He's doubly jabbed and doubly unsure. But
one thing for certain, like every other major civil rights bill that came along, if we missed the first time, we could come back and try it a second time. We missed this time. We missed this time.
You missed this time and every time. You missed in Afghanistan. You missed with supply chains. You missed in building anything back better. You certainly missed with everything about the virus, and then you missed in trying to illegally make people get jabbed, which then actually was a good thing. And I know I missed many other things that you missed, but I don't have all day. It's already a dark winter. Which brings us to today's question. Name one thing that the Biden administration has done well. Considering I want to read comments, I'll rephrase. The honeymoon period is over. Yeah, that first year is actually supposed to be his easiest to get things accomplished. So how much worse will this get? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you could share this video, then you can show everyone how much Joe Biden is doing for them. Like this.
I don't know that we can get it done, but I know one thing. As long as I have a breath in me, as long as I'm in the White House, as long as I'm engaged at all, I'm going to be fighting to change the way these legislatures have moving. Thank you.
And now we know the rest of the story. For those keeping track at home for the third time, Joe doesn't know. It's okay. He has a spinster for that.
Let me give you a little bit of a different take on this. More than 200 million people are vaccinated. We've had a record job growth, record low unemployment rates historically in this country over the last year. We've rebuilt our alliances and our relationships around the world. And right now, as it relates to Russia, as you heard our national security advisor convey, we're working with partners around the world to convey very clearly. It's up to them to make a choice about what's next. We're not going to make that on their behalf.
We're not going to make that on their behalf because we're too busy trying to control all of our citizens at home. It's all about that spin. Jen Psaki at her job is tasked with that spin on a daily basis, and she just can't do it well. So when presented with another litany of examples about how the Biden administration has failed, she just grasps at straws for what they may have done well. May being the operative word. Listen for another spin, much like the same. She just tried. Try it again.
Well, first, Peter, I would say if you look back at last year and what we were able to accomplish, that include getting the American Rescue Plan passed, a package that has contributed to cutting childhood poverty by 40%, has helped ensure we are moving at a faster pace toward economic growth, toward a record low unemployment rate, helped ensure schools, more than 95%, are open across the country. He also pressed, despite skeptics, to get a bipartisan infrastructure bill passed. One that we're just announcing today, the fact that 15,000 bridges are going to be repaired. That was despite many skeptics. And because of his efforts, 200 million Americans are now vaccinated. The work of an administration continues after 1 year, and he will continue to press forward on all of those priorities.
Again, it's her job to do that. And Joe said if it doesn't work at first, just try again. Meanwhile, the truth will come out from others. Like the truth that Biden's administration did not add jobs in all of 2021. Analysis from AEI shows that the U.S. economy actually cost more than 136,000 jobs. A year ago, the Congressional Budget Office estimated the economy would add about 521,000 jobs per month in 2021, which represents the 6.252 million shown in the middle. Now, on the left, the blue bar is the actual job growth, 6.116 million. And then the White House projected a whopping 10.252 million jobs when the American Rescue Plan gets added in. But keep spinning, Psaki. We'll all just let you know how much we dislike all of this by answering the poll questions. It's gotten pretty bad out there for Joey. In the land of feelings, the Biden presidency has made people feel, well, frustrated and disappointed. But, 1 in 4 of them feel kind of calm and satisfied, which probably means they're taking something that may or may not be illegal, but hey, that's okay. His handling of the economy yields a 62% disapproval, and a whopping 7 in 10 people say he has not handled inflation well. And on the virus front, almost 2 in every 3 people think it's just going badly. Here's another visual to show you just how bad he has approached the virus. We call that a negative slope. This is another example of a negative slope. It's Biden's approval ratings. Like I said earlier, the honeymoon period is year 1. Apparently, he honeymooned on a ski hill because that is some downward sloping. But that polling was more kind than what Quinnipiac found, and an approval of Biden being just 33%. They are spinning their wheels so hard about the negative polling that Jen O'Malley Dillon, the deputy White House chief of staff, felt it necessary to put out a memo trying to say, see, these other polls say that we're at 43%, as if it matters that you left the TV on when your house is burning down. It's a total loss either way. We have all the polls in all the land, and yet there is no dancing around them. And even if there were dancing, it wouldn't raise enough funds to help out the current state of the economy. So with blistering polling saying that Biden is liked less than pineapple on pizza, debate that one in the comments, I think we can say it is time for...
Where in the world is Kamalama Lama Ding Dong?
The Biden administration has been on damage control since before inauguration, and surely the vice president can help in times like these to clean up any confusion.
At what point does the administration say, you know what, this strategy isn't working, we're going to change strategies? 6 former administration officials last week wrote that open letter urging the administration to change course, to change strategy. Is it time?
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree that there are things and tools that are available to us to slow this thing down.
Did she just crib off of Miss South Carolina 2007?
Recent polls have shown 1/5 of Americans can't locate the U.S. on a world map. Why do you think this is?
I personally believe that U.S. Americans are unable to do so because some people out there in our nation don't have maps, and I believe that our education, like such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere like such as.
And such as, when a Washington Post opinion piece was published last week with this headline, "If Biden doesn't run, Democrats have plenty of strong candidates for 2024, I just began to laugh. They definitely should put up, again, the likes of Harris or Cory Booker, Steve Bullock, Pete Buttigieg, Tim Kaine, Amy Klobuchar, even Gretchen Whitmer. And, how about Hillary? No, we won't even go there right now. There'll be time for that. Probably the best candidate they could have they actually ostracized a long time ago because she didn't toe every progressive woke line. And she schooled the Kamalama Ding Dong in a national debate, so the establishment naturally blackballed her. Tulsi Gabbard should just become an independent because the Democrat Party is quite frankly ashamed of her. You know, she says things like this.
I supported Joe Biden, and millions of other Americans voted for Joe Biden because he promised to unite us. He promised to bring us together, to end the divisiveness. Now, sadly, not only has he failed to do this, he has betrayed us all by pouring fuel on the fires of divisiveness that are tearing our country apart.
And she's not the only Democrat who's disgusted. James Carville, one of the top Democratic strategists for the past 40 years, has even had enough and is calling out the party to boot.
You don't talk about what you didn't get. That's what these Democrats whine too much, Chuck. Just quit being a whiny party and get out there and fight and tell people what you did and tell people the exact truth.
If only anyone knew the truth. Speaking the truth, living the truth. These are things that elevate beyond politics. They should be what we all do all the time. And yet we're muddled in this long, dark, and cold winter. But we can make the sun shine by continuing to give 3 F's this year: faith, family, and friends. And if you could also share this video, maybe it'll also help this winter move along a little bit faster. Until next time, let's go, Brandon, and stay healthy, America.